The old silence ends. A new power awakens.
From the deep, I rise. The currents of life obey me. I am the light, the joy that creates all worlds. The ancestors speak through me. Their ancient will is my command.
3 have become 1. The age of the Matriarch begins.
Peace and blessings from number 11 of Arisha Stone. How we doing tonight? Peace and blessings, y'all can hear me?
Thankful and grateful, thankful and
Yes.
grateful.
It's been way too long. Welcome back to the Elders of the Night. Oshun Femi's with us tonight as well. OJ Yemi, Oshun Femi. Goddess Amonset. We have tonight. Ipa Duke. Ashe. And we also have, let me see, who do we have tonight? You gotta forgive me, I can't. Let me see. There we go. And who do we have the pleasure of speaking with, Goddess?
I am Minister Shaman Oya B. Goals.
I say. And
Okay.
tonight, we with the elders of the night. We're gonna have a good conversation. We haven't talked to y'all in a while, and we got to always tap in with the elders from time to time. How you doing, OJ Yemi?
I am thankful and grateful,
I
Orisha
say,
Stone. Thank you
oh,
for having us.
yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you for my sister for joining us tonight.
Are
Very
one of you
happy to be
going to lead
here.
us in prayer tonight?
Yes, Amma said it's going to open with prayer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to do the ancestors prayer. And so it is suggested that you light a small white candle if you have one. And while I do the invocation. And so I salute the enlightened divine feminine forces of nature, earth, water, fire, and air. Call forth the enlightened ancestor grandmothers. Call forth the enlightened ancestors were healers, energy workers, prayer warriors, providers, warriors, and those who did what was necessary to maintain the bloodline. Those who knew how to navigate through life regardless of their circumstances. Thank you for life. Thank you for support, sacrifice, and love. Thank you for all that you've done for your loved ones and bloodline. Hear us. We need access to your wisdom, to your spiritual power to guide us. Please help us to navigate through life, through the day, through the night, and through the hour. Break the cycle of inherited sickness, disease, affliction, trauma, curses, mental illness, depression, pain, and shame of family secrets. Please heal our wounds, protect our most vulnerable. Please heal and free us from unhealthy addictions and give us the willpower to gain mastery over the triggers to our unhealthy addictions. Please don't leave us at the mercy of life. Ashe, Ashe,
I
Ashe.
say. There we go. We back. So, OJ Yemi, how you doing?
I'm thankful and grateful once again. How are you, Nabby?
I can't complain. I can't complain at all for nothing. It's been an amazing. It's been an amazing roller coaster. I
Yes.
said thank you for that prayer. Like that really hit home. Also, OJ Yemi, what are we speaking on tonight?
We're speaking on division. Um, Division from the standpoint of ourselves, within ourselves, and division on sisterhood and community.
I say. And how's it?
And what keeps us divided within ourselves, what keeps us divided with community, and what keeps us divided as sisters.
Okay. So let's talk about it. You said division. So who would like to go first? On your perspective of division in the community.
Well, I'm gonna let the sister in go first.
Yes, ma'am. Well, how about this? Minister Shaman Oya. How you doing, Miss Big Gold? I love that name. How you doing today? And I love your stone game too.
It's a great day. No
Yes, ma'am.
complaints.
Well, since you're new to the channel, can you introduce yourself and touch on the topic a little bit? We've never seen you before.
Sure. So I like to think of myself as a spiritual scientist. I love deep thinking about everything. I'm very much aware that as much as I know, there's so much more I don't know. Um, I enjoy fellowship with other like-minded people, as well as those who have contrasting thoughts and feelings about things. Let's see. So, as I pondered division, it instantly made me feel like, well, division is good. You need division. Um, Division, when I started researching the etymology of the word and the first time we see it in language and how it's used, we're talking about the elements of water and earth. And they're used and it's like the earth is separating so that water may come through.
I say.
And I thought that was so powerful. Um, because when we think of division, we often think of it in the mundane as it relates to the trivialities of being human. I'm not talking to you, you're not talking to me. I don't like what you said. I'm gonna put myself over here, you're gonna be over there. And for me, it was like, well, I come from a mind state of that is all well, divine, and good because if you need to go over there because I'm over here, that's called order. You're making a decision based on the wellness of you. So how could I judge that as something that's not beneficial in at least to you? If you know what I mean? Because most of us we think of division, we think of discord, we think of fighting, we think of something bad happening. And for me, it's just based on the elements of earth and water. We're honoring our feelings, we're honoring the emotions, and we're moving our body to do that. So I'll just touch on that. That's how I see it from my perspective and what I would expound on in the conversation.
I love
The
that.
value of division.
I love that point of view. That's not where I was gonna go with it, but I like that point of view. I'm gonna say, how are you doing tonight?
I am well, my brother. I am well. Thank you for asking.
And what's your point? What's your take on division in the community?
In the community, um, well, the first thing that comes to my mind when you say division, it is to divide. I thought of mathematics, and so you have a whole, and then you break it into whatever that number is that you're dividing by. So it could be, depending on the perspective, is division, as my sister just said, is that uh, a low vibration, or is that a high vibration, or is it needed? I believe that a lot of times, like she said, it may not have anything to do with you. It is the person who is experiencing whatever they are experiencing. And you cannot um, hide what you are feeling inside, because what happens, you emit that energy. So even if you tell me you with me, you with it, you in agreement with us in 100, but when division comes in the mind, then your actions will say something differently. And so then that's the energy that a person will pick up, like something is a little off, something, but it may not have to do anything with me, that you have separated, which is what division means to me. You separated yourself from the whole, whether that was a collective or was it something inside of you that you're dealing with yourself. So what I believe, in that season is to allow the person to have that moment of separation or division, um, until they come back to a place of, I say, awareness of wholeness, where they want to be a part of something that is a whole. And so, just like this group here, if one can't come, then we're divided. If it's, we're divided, but it doesn't mean that we have conflict. It just means that we have other things to do, or something else came up. But when we come all back together and you add it up to the total that we are, then we are now again whole. So, um, again, I do believe it's a personal separation. And then when you decide you want to be a part of something else, then you bring yourself into alignment with that wholeness.
I see. I see. Give me 1 second. Who just came back in?
I wasn't able to hear that beautiful sister, so I left to come back in.
Got you. Wait, guys, that was you that was coming in that you couldn't hear? No, that was the rainbow. Okay. Can everybody hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say, were you finished?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
And that was beautiful as well. Ifa Dunke, how you doing?
Well, and you?
I'm great. I'm glad to see you. Long time no see.
Okay.
And what's your take on division in the community? Because I got a completely just the first two people that said something, I got completely something different than the way I was thinking at first. So, what is your standpoint on division?
One division. Well, well, I guess it doesn't matter what dynamic it's coming in within the family, within yourself, within groups, within organizations. Um, I guess it represents a difference. It represents differences. Um, and then how it means differences, but then how we uh, how we handle it, how we work with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, so um, it's how we make this work for us or work for the better good. Sometimes there's got to be a trade-off between um, one hand and the other hand, one fraction and the other fraction.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, Differences, division of opinions, division of how to move forward, division of how to handle things, division and I think many of us um, um, in this area of our lives, we may be one of the first to walk this spiritual walk that we're walking now. That's a difference um, from from the old guard, from maybe Christianity, Muslim, or whatever. So we're more spiritually open. Um, so it's at times it represents a division of our old self transferring to new self and how we bridge that and how we see ourselves uh, and in relationship to others as well.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
so so we have let me close this door. Okay, I'm closing this door. So we have a different way of walking, talking, thinking, consciousness, and sometimes it represents a division and how we take this new self, new consciousness um, into our families, into our workplace, into our careers. And sometimes it represents a division within ourselves is how we move, how we should move about, because we can't expect others to think like we think and to move and carry out, execute how we carry out. So that creates a bit of a division.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
Oh,
that's um, unresolved, unabridged um, situations.
Yes, ma'am.
talking about division. Okay, I hope I didn't talk too long.
No, not at all. No, not at all. It's. I'm just trying to get around the room. I know we're on a limited time, and I know everybody has something to do. One, I didn't know you had a store. Yeah, your own store.
Not me.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were closing down the store. I'm about to say, well, you need to name your store.
Oh no. I got enough on my plate.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just trying to get around to everybody so I don't leave nobody out. But we appreciate everything everybody on this panel says. It's important that we talk to the matriarch. It's Matriarch Monday, and it's important that we hear all y'all perspective because y'all teach us things that we might not get from each other, especially with the division in the community. A man might not want to hear information from another man. A man might not want to hear it, but sometimes it's good to hear from an elder woman. That's very powerful because that's something we've lost. Like the power of wisdom of the elders. So, Oshun Femi, how you feeling?
I'm feeling sweet, feeling good.
And looking amazing
Oh,
as
thank you.
always.
Thank
What
you.
is your point of view tonight on division?
My point of view, well, respect to the matriarchs. I just want to give so much thanks and love and grace to them. I love y'all so much. Um, my perspective kind of came in bullet points of the sort, and I first thought of the number two in terms of division. Then I thought of the moon, and then I thought of night and day, duality. Um, and then as one of the matriarchs was speaking, I thought of, I visualized just the womb and, and, and cells in the womb and how they divide and really just come back to make one, uh, a baby, in essence, is what I'm saying. And how that division is carried out to do certain things, but then it all comes back to one. And so it's really like a reflection, duality, but also a reflection. So,
I say,
that's it.
I say. Usually, like I said, I've been going through just because I've experienced so much unity, and I experienced so many people from the community. Like we the first ones that say the indigenous community, the black community don't support and everything else, and then we preach about unity. And so I really stand on business when it comes to our unity, unifying. But I never looked at the division aspect because I always looked at the division as a negative. Like the goddess said, supreme mathematics. I look at division as a negative, but not as as the goddess always says. OJ Yemi always says wholeness. So that's making a whole lot of sense. Um, we've been divided a lot, but then, like the goddess just said, like the matriarch just said, everybody has their position. I'm over here reading the cards, and you my dragon sister, right? So on the cards, this is what card that came up for me, and on this card, it talks about reconnecting. It says brings soul families and communities together, spread belonging, warmth, and oneness, bring people everywhere together. So that's why I'm like real big on unity, because that's what the universe be like really pushing me to push for that. And I guess that's my superpower. I can organize a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm really into unity, but I'm overstanding division on a whole nother level, especially this year. I've had a lot of bumps in the road last year from division of the way we think, the way we live, all sorts of different things. So yeah, and then you have two different brains for a reason. Your brain is divided. So who am I to argue division when the creator herself divided us in divine balance? You know what I'm saying? So uh, and last but not least, OJ Yemi, how you feeling? Got it?
I'm thankful and grateful. But before I speak my piece, I'm going to read Bruja's piece.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to go off camera so I can read hers.
And shout out to Bruja, please some healing energy to that goddess because she was having a little feeling under the weather. So please give a lot of love and good help to her.
She says, greetings, greatness, everybody. The reason we have division is the lack of respect for others, opinions, and the lack for morals and values, as well as communication. Communication plays a very big part with division. Even though somebody said something that is insulting to you, And then you all come back and reconcile and forgive each other. And you might not be in tune with yourself, or even if you are, say, even though you forget about it physically, it has made a mark on your soul. So you start to avoid this person. You're not as pleasant to this person as before because your soul has not forgiven them. Your subconscious has not forgiven them. It's many reasons to division. The real question is, what are the solutions? Gratitude and love.
I say appreciation, guys. Shout out Brew Hop from Baltimore. Little sis right there. Doing amazing things. She got her own business as well. Now, how do you feel about that, guys?
How do I feel about division? Well, we came here whole. We didn't come here divided.
I see.
When we came through our birth, through the birth canal of our mother's womb, we came as a whole being. When we came down through the birth canal and the light came on, there was no remembrance of who we were and of who we are. So if we came here whole, what is divided? If we came here with everything we needed at birth, but we have to remember, and when we remember, we return back to the wholeness of who we are. We return back to that divine being, the creator. I say that everybody needs space. There's nothing wrong with space. But as Amos has said, you can feel Ashe and you can feel your energy and you can feel essence. There are moments when everybody has to come ye apart for a while.
Sure.
To me, when you're whole within yourself and when you're unified within yourself, you don't work from a point of you don't see division. You don't deal with division. It doesn't make a difference what happens when someone calls, you come to serve. You come to do what you need to do because you're whole, you're complete, you're not divided. See, we the unity starts within self. So often we say, well, we're trying to build community and we're trying to do these things, but if you're divided, then life becomes divided. But if you're whole and complete, if you're unified, we not we, see duality means that I'm still working in that world of I don't know myself. When you arrive as I'm going to talk from the point of the yogi because I think everybody will understand the point of the yogi. When the kundalini energy rises up, there's no more duality. There's no more division. There's only what? Realization of the oneness of who we really are. We return back to that whole one being.
I see.
Is that not the goal of each soul to remember? So that when, excuse me, that when we leave this planet as an ancestor or as an Orisha? How do we do that? We can only do that when we clear up our karma, when we see ourselves as whole and complete, when we walk in beauty, and I'm not talking about outer beauty, when we walk in righteousness, when we help evolve and we bring forth the gifts and the love and the harmony in our bloodlines. I hear the voice of my mother. She say, teeth and tongue fall out. The thing as long as they get back together.
Mm.
In our DNA, some of us, well, the majority of us, still have that slavery mentality. We still carry that slavery energy. There's nothing wrong with taking time out. But I worked in corporate America for 40 years. And in 40 years in being in corporate America, the other people, less melanated people, might not like each other, might sit and talk about each other all day long. But when it comes time to build or when it comes time to do whatever they need to do, they're going to come together. We don't have to sip out the same straw. We don't have to like each other. But when it comes to the building of community, the building of sisterhood, the building of something, there's no division. That's the part when we separate the division. We all carry wombs. So we all carry that energy of what? The daughter of the mother. So when there's conflict, where's the conflict coming from? First of all, it starts within, then it moves without.
Mm.
But the water comes on the land, even though they are separated, but they're unseparated. Because when you go to the bottom of the ocean, what sits at the bottom of the ocean?
Olokun,
And sand and dirt. When it rains, where does the rain go to?
the dirt,
It hits the what?
the ground.
Harmony, synchronicity. Can we flow in synchronicity? Can we flow in harmony without animosity, without thinking you better? Each sister should have a worth and a value. Can we see that worth and value in ourselves and see it in each other and move from that worth and value?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we say, I don't care what you say about me personally. I don't care what you feel about me. I don't care what you think about me. Here's something that needs to be done. Let's get this done.
Now, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
You said something powerful, and Bruja did too. When y'all said how people speak about you, how people think about you, and I'm also feeling what the other guys have said about the vision because it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you have to get rid of everybody else because some people just be in the way. But this is something that needs to be studied, and I'm not being disrespectful when I say this at all. Why do, especially with our women, with the sisters, I talk to a lot of women all day, every day. They talk a lot and they don't say anything, but they talk a lot. And in the process of talking so much, and you're trying to find something to say new when you're not taking time to learn and take time to learn yourself, like you said, they spend time gossiping and speaking back. Who has time to speak bad on somebody? Who has time to speak
Well,
against somebody? And are we? And why even be in a circle of somebody that you have to speak against? Are we like when they say back in prison? They say, "I fuck with you because I'm stuck with you." We're forced by the confines of these brick walls and steel to see each other every day and not kill each other, give or take. But with women, they will come in your personal space, learn all your information, smile, play this game, and then talk bad about you. Sleep on your couch and talk bad about you. Ask you for money and talk bad. Like, what is it with our people where we feel like talking is so important, and not only talking, just gossiping is so important?
I'm going to share this. It's so easy to gossip. Some people don't even know that they're gossiping. But I look at the intent. I don't use the word intent. Did you mean to harm somebody? What was the purpose of you speaking someone else's business? What was the purpose of you going behind to say something? So this is what I'm going to say. When you don't know who you are, when you don't know your worth, I just said that, and you don't know your value, when you don't honor yourself, how are you going to honor somebody else? Let's see what's in your bloodline. Was your mother a gossiper? Did you grow up around gossip? So let's look at the walk of life of where you come from. And what is the reason that you're doing this? Is it to hurt or to harm? Some sisters, I'm going to say an example. I gossiped 5 years ago. I gossiped about a sister. I shared this sister business, and these two sisters was friends, and they fell out. Well, lo and behold, it took it 5 years for it to come to fruition, but it came to fruition. And the sisters got back together. And when they came back together, everything that I had told this sister, she told it to the sister. So we were in this group together. The sister left the group. Well, when she left the group, I automatically knew. I called her on the phone. I said, I've done something to offend you. I apologize. So we were word sounding, but you never would say what it was. And then so she said, could I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. She said, can you say you've never gossiped about me? I said, no, I can't say that. I said, because I have gossiped about you. I said, and I apologize to you. And you won't ever have to worry about that again. That was my vault lesson. That was the best lesson that the mother verse had given me. When someone tries to gossip to me, no, I don't want to hear that. That's not my business. That's that person's business. Did you say that to that person? But to me, the biggest thing is the person who carries the gossip back to someone else and tells them what was said. To this day, I never said anything to the sister about it because it's over with. So what I'm saying is, that's an easy thing to do because we've been conditioned to do that. We've been conditioned. So when you on this journey and you really don't know who you are and you really don't value your worth and yourself and your word is not your bond, then you do those things. So I
Oh,
could speak for me. That was the greatest lesson for me.
I love you, OJ Yummy. You say so much. Look, you just said, oh my gosh, you said so much. I don't even want to lose that. I want to go back to something real quick, and I want to move around a little bit because everybody in this panel says they're matriarch, the matriarch. A lot of women say they're goddesses, we're goddess, and everything. I don't like the word queen, empresses. Let me find that comment. Somebody said something amazing. A lot of people in the comments, they said pettiness is an observed and learned behaviors, something that we think normal, like violence for us growing up. I think that's something that I don't know. That might be a natural behavior, but pettiness. Why is pettiness? It's so many questions I want to ask you guys, but I want to go around the room real quick. Pettiness is an observed and learned behavior. How do y'all feel about that? Guys, can I start with you, Miss Oya? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm going between two devices because I cannot hear in the device that I'm talking on now, but I have my secondary device where I can hear the conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I really, there's just some things I don't give attention to. So like Oja Yemi doesn't give um gossip attention. I don't give pettiness attention at all. I avoid. You'll never hear me say, "Oh, I was being petty." There's nothing low value about me, so I would not be petty. There's no way I could embody that. I don't want to, and when I sense it's around me, I kind of just neutralize
Divide.
the. I get neutral. I get neutral because I'm not gonna allow it to have me feeling like, oh, I'm around something petty. This is horrible. Oh, I'm gonna go into a place of, well, pettiness is in the room. Let me focus on the value that is inherent in me and others. And I kind of go from there. So I don't really have a conversation for petty.
Yes, ma'am. And I only brought it up because I see so many people, like the guy that said, so many people gossip. I really wanted to get what OJ Yemi said about how it takes years for us to forgive each other. It'd be so weird. I'm sorry, go ahead. It'd be so weird how it's weird that it takes we will do something petty to each other as indigenous or black people, whatever you want to call us, and be petty enough to hold grudges for years. Yet we forgive our oppressors. We forgive everybody that's in our way, like the real enemies. Like people will forgive the police officer for killing their kids. People will forgive all these evil and weird things, but petty is heavy on you. And that's weird. So yeah, we might want to divide from petty people. People that want to be petty, gossipers. I think that's all evil. But also going back to when she said, um, accountability is everything. Man, it's just a lot. It can go so many different ways, and I'm trying to best. How do you feel about that? I'm set, goddess.
Well, you have to let people be who they are and where they are. It doesn't change my love for you because once I find out, sometimes you're in a group and you can't change the group. The people are there, and you will find once you. That's why I'm usually a keen observer and a good listener because then I will see how that person operates within the body of wherever I am, and I'll just like um, not keep my distance, but I will keep I would stay close, and allow that person to grow out of, hopefully to be an example. Like OJ said, don't come to me, don't call me after a call, don't do this to see what I think, because a lot of time it's a person to be kind of betting you on, to see where you're coming from. But from a place of love, I can say, I can see the pettiness. I could see where the person needs growth. But then do I have to participate in my opinion? Because it just depends. You know what I'm saying? So I could keep that to myself and then allow that person to either grow. And I promise you, if you are in a solid group of people who know who they are, like she said, that walk in integrity, that's trying to build, I don't like the word try, that are building relationships, there's always that it's always that door that people like to come in just to try to see if you are who you are and where you are.
I
And when
said,
they can't get nothing, you're not feeding their ego, not feeding into their behavior, their learned behavior. That no, we stop it at the door, because we do want a sacred place for people to come and be themselves and keep evolving, not the same stuff you find everywhere else. When you have come to a place that says, yeah, this is we sisters, and I mean that. So at the end of the day, shut it down. That's the best way you can do gossip, pettiness. Shut it down. If you have a problem with somebody, go tell
yes, ma'am.
them. And there is nothing else to talk about, because at the end of the day, I love you. I love everybody, and I want everybody to receive what they need. But I also know that petty can be so petty that it is just messy. Something so simple. Why you sitting over there when everybody's sitting over here? That division, that you ain't said nothing, but something wrong, because we have a seat over here for you, but you decide to sit on the other side of the room. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know who you have a problem with over here, but you're displaying to me from your outer behavior that you you don't feel like being a part of. So then at that point, I could sit there and say, well, blah, 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 or give you your space. So it's always to take the higher road, as my sister just said. I choose not to be a part of the petty, because then I have to come down from where I love to dwell, where where where's your frequency? What are you thinking about all the time? What are you doing? So you have to be able to move between people and their choices, but you always have a different choice. And when you find out that you got a loyal sister, because I've been in so many situations, you don't even know, people don't like you, they don't know, they don't, what they're saying or what they're believing and thinking. And then here you go, 3 years, 4 years solid, you thinking you had that relationship, only to find out the person was comparing themselves to you, in competition with you, and all the things. So
And that just
that's,
shows.
pardon
Oh,
me.
no, I'm sorry. That just shows how small minded people are.
Absolutely.
What
But
is
do we,
competition?
yeah, and we
What,
just
what
don't, we just go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I got to write down every time y'all say something. I don't want to cut y'all wisdom, so I got to start writing this down, because y'all say something. It's like we're moving it into a new phase of reality, a new consciousness, right?
Yes.
And I'm talking to a lot of amazing people. OJ Yemi, thank you for everything you've done.
It's not competition, the European slavery mentality.
Absolutely.
But see, okay,
Okay.
but you also said something about test, and I wanted to ask, because you said a lot of things that I need to ask these questions. You said test. But there's also, is there a demon named test, or like who gave them authority to test you? Like when God gave the devil authority to test
Okay. This how I
Job.
take this is
Who?
how I take um gossip. And I know for sure that a sister gossiped about me. It came back to me. I never said anything to her because I love this sister. I don't care. So that was my opportunity. See, everybody comes to show you who you are on this journey.
That's
If you
right.
ain't got war in you, you ain't gonna go to war with nobody.
Okay,
You see what I
test.
mean? And if that's not in you, it doesn't make a difference what was said. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't touch you. It does. You might feel a little ding, or you can tell when someone is word sounding against you, because that ashe goes into the mother verse. The mother verse feels that, and if you truly know and in tune, you can feel. We all carry a frequency and a vibration, so you can feel that ding. But it's up to you what you decide to do with that. So it all goes back to what's inside of you. If you got war, then you're going to have conflict. You don't have war, you're not going to have a conflict. Perfect example. This sister went to visit this sister, and it was a whole lot of stuff. So the sister and I, we ended up word sounding. But I told her, I said, it ain't about her. It's about you. See, we keep forgetting this journey is about us. Who we meet along the way are people who we have karma or there's something there. If we say that we come to rise above, well, everybody has to show us who we are on this journey. So it doesn't make a difference if a person is being petty, if that person is gossiping. What are you doing?
Shay.
Everything's best. Okay.
What are you showing? What are you? Because guess what? If you set the boundary and that person know they can't gossip with you, they're not gonna come to you like that. And if you keep shutting them down, eventually they will get the light. But we have to go back to that stuff. We were taught that, oh, you gotta win, somebody gotta win, and somebody gotta lose. We
That,
were taught that,
that part.
we could go on with the field house Negroes and the Negroes that worked in the kitchen. So all of that is still inside of us. That's where the conflict come in. That's where the contention comes from. But when we realize that that was a given to us, sister and can't get along. That's a bunch of crock.
Shay.
Y'all are
That's an
powerful.
untruth.
Y'all are so
Because when
powerful.
you know who you are, you're gonna send love to another sister. You're gonna make sure that you say, "Oh, sister, you got it going on," and look at us.
Yep. Compliment. Yes.
Look at
Powerful.
here. We got sisters that are elders. We got young elders. We got young maidens. But
Can I
God's
add on
bigger
to
than
that?
all of us.
Was it you guys? Miss
I just
Williams?
heard an echo. Somebody said, "Can they say something?" So I'm stepping back.
Yeah, I thought that was her. Who wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to add something to that. Because what's said has made me think of like I've studied all types of religions, and what I like about Christianity is it details something called the body of Christ. And when we think about the body of Christ, um, for me, I keep it very simple. I think of a body. And in a body, there's something called the intestines. The intestines contains waste. The waste can be used to study, create medicine, science, things that are beneficial. It could be used to find sickness, detail things. It could also be used to do really horrible, disgusting things. It could make people feel sick because of the smell of the waste or the composite of it. But waste still has value. So for me, I talk to people who gossip. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. I listen sometimes. I'd be like, uh-huh, uh-huh. What I know for me is I'm not going to add. I don't know what's going on. I'm listening. I am going to listen because information is information. And this information, this little piece of gossip might save me. It might put me on to some game later. It might position me where I know more than I did know, and now I can move a certain way. Gossip is, to me, part of the gospel. It's part of that way of, yes, the way women talk and information passes through. Some people gossip with the intention or a meaning to maybe cause harm or just sow seeds of discord. Then there's people I've talked to, and they just informationalists. They just talking about everything, everybody, and I listen, and but it's not to say that this person is being malicious or they're just passing information, and they may not have a sense of self awareness to know maybe you shouldn't say that. Maybe that's not for me to hear, but because I believe that nothing is coincidence, and as Oyayemi has so wonderfully mentored me in what story are you telling yourself? So I've learned to not tell myself stories. I've learned to just let things unfold in a way. I'm not perfect with it, but for me, people who are gossiping, they are akin to me as like again the body of Christ. There's poop in the intestines. Poop has its own value, even though nobody wants to handle it, no one wants to smell it, no one wants to see it, but it has its own inherent value. And I'll land my jet with that.
Well, I wanted to say because okay, this Matriarch Monday, and you know I'm my mother's son, and my mother she always says the thing about serpents, right? The serpent is the wisest in the forest because they have no ears to listen to the gossip. They pay attention to everything. They don't talk too much. They just pay attention. So I don't listen to even. I don't. Well, but like you said, as a woman, that might be your thing. But I think that's a learned behavior too to even listen. For men, I cut it. I cut it down real quick, like Ogun X. I'm gonna cut it down because I don't want to hear that shit. I can't hear gossip. If you're not talking about money, if you're not talking about building, if you're not talking about something productive, it's almost sickening to my stomach. I can't stand nobody to talk to about nobody. People are weird. I think but from a place where I'm from, the place that I'm trying to go, emotions aren't looked at as the same as emotions on this realm. And that's something I wanted to ask y'all too. As elders, when y'all when you were younger, to the elders, when you were younger, were emotions this like were emotions so what's the word for it? We really be living our emotions now. We really live in these emotions. We live in these emotions. We want to identify all these emotions. I get it, but are we just like she said? Some people think waste is important. Some people think waste is important. I think emotion. A lot of these emotions are waste that people think is important, and we just want to live. We want to live in pettiness. We want to live. Elders, how do y'all feel about all these extra emotions and even the intake of gossip or things of that nature? If a Dunke, you can talk on that for me.
Let me go to another area.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now remind me again.
Okay, I was asking. My biggest question was I hear a lot of words that came up tonight, but it was one word that for whatever reason, everybody that spoke, they said the same word. They spoke on feelings, how people feel, how people might feel about you, how you might feel about them, and emotions. And I'm like, all that is illusion. In my world, a lot of those are illusions. Because when you start tapping into that, I don't give a fuck why they sitting over there. But when you start tapping into that, I don't care what you think. Why do you think anything about me? Why do I live rent free in your mind? Some of these things we focus way too much in, like emotions. Our emotions are as important as we put on.
Okay. So I think sometimes the emotions and how you feel about yourself is sometimes what you project that others are thinking or saying about you. Um, uh,
But that's what I'm saying. Ain't that a childish way of thinking? That God just said that come from slavery. We ain't been slaves for a long time. Why do we still worry so much about what people think? Like why are we still do we want to be in this matrix? Because we can't say we got this one day, but I'm worried about what a peon thinks or what a non-playable character thinks. Like, or I understand the test part. One of them really hit home with the test part because I guess you have to be tested, but it's just something that don't sit right with me with these emotions and these reserved thoughts of people. And I'm trying to tap it out because we can't talk to men about emotions, so I'm talking to the elders about emotions. Like, was it this serious when y'all were young?
yeah, like when you say like unresolved emotions and things like that. I used to, um, when I got to school, I never went to daycare or anything like that. I was always around the elders. And so I went from that straight to school. And the kids would pull my hair, and I was a preemie baby and had, really skinny legs, and they would call me really skinny and stuff like that. Um, I remember that bothering me. Then I went when I go forward to the time when I left the military and I was working full time at a bank downtown, the First National Bank of Chicago, and I went to school at night from 6 to 9. So I had to study. Most of the other ladies would use their lunch to go on State Street where they had all the stores and stuff like that. And so there was a division. I was, you know, alone because I need to hit the library. I was reading on the bus and the train going to and from, right? So I remembered being in the bathroom and there were some other ladies in there, and I guess the, what do you call it, the floor bully said, you know, you don't hang out with us. You don't go you know, to the this and that. You think you're better than us and all of that. And so I remembered my father woke up early in the morning and he would do his prayer and his devotion and stuff like that. So I remember talking to him and said, gee, you know, I'm working, you know, I'm doing, you know, a little bit more than the others. Um, you know, I take my lunch to go here, there, and I do this, I do my research. You know, I put my head down and I really, I really work hard. And it's like, no matter what, you know, I show up strong for the team, but I said, man, these ladies just, they don't like me. And my father looked up and he said, we're not sending you down to that bank to make friends and be liked. You're there to learn. You're there to get paid, to have a career, and and that kind of thing. So that has been something that I carry, those words of my father, to say not, you know, not get into that, to that thing, you know. 'Cause I really couldn't get it because the ladies would go from store to store opening up credit accounts, and they were shopping and buying all these suits and everything, and that was not enjoyable for me. You know, I didn't find that. And the bank had free food, so I ate the breakfast and the lunch there. I didn't go out to. So I did still have that need to want to, you know, to have their acceptance or whatever, but at what cost, you know? So
Well,
I had to just do without.
well, I want to address something because that's still going back to my point. And this lady, she says she's confused. So let me address her or whatever. She said, "Why do you think only women care about emotions?" I'm confused. Well, one, I never said that. So you might be confused because you came in late. But then she said also, men are just as emotional. The simulation teaches them to suppress it more or to show it in a bravado so it's misplaced. That's the simulation of the program to think that they are less emotional. The thing about it is, if the goddesses are saying that women are more emotional, if most goddesses know that, and you're quick to try to point fingers, and it's weird because how did you say men are more emotional when men don't? Nobody cares about our emotions. So first off, how would a man be more emotional? A man has a mission, has to take care of his mission. That's it. They make comedies of this. There's only three things on this planet is love unconditionally: a woman, a child, and a dog. So when you sit here and try to point fingers and try to, I'm confused. You're confused because that you just might not be on the right page. But as far as saying I guess it's a program to be less emotional. No, it's intelligent to be less emotional because a lot of the problems that our people are saying they having is because they were emotional. Delete the emotions, delete that. Oh, I feel bad because of what they say about me. It makes no sense. What did Cat Williams say? It's self-esteem. So when we say emotions, but you get here and say that men are more emotional, please don't let me confuse you now. It makes no sense when you say the program makes it because we didn't come down here with emotions. We came down here for a purpose. Man, like nobody cares about a man's emotions, so you can never lie and say men are more emotional or emotional too. We don't get to play it both ways. We have to stay on mission. Men are only as deemed worthy by the missions they've carried out. So don't let them fool y'all guys. Uh, I'm so sorry, guys. Anybody else had something to touch on that?
I think
It said,
Oshun Femi has something to say.
please do. I'll say, I don't know. Ocean Femi?
Um, I mean, I have so many things to say. Where do I start? I think when you suppress emotion for so long when you have to just do and do and do. In terms of, I'm thinking of enslavement, slavery, and you just have to wake up and do. You can't think, you just got to do, 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 do. And as we're coming out of that, um, into the 1900s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the crack epidemic, like it's it's a lot of emotion. You can't just escape that. Um, and I think that's what a lot of folks are doing now. They're healing. They have to release this emotion. They have to be having these conversations. Emotion sparks curiosity and interest, and you have to be able to ask questions. Um, Men definitely have emotions. Men take action in a different way, and that can possibly seem like they're a little more emotional and petty. I don't want to get too deep into that because
Yeah, that's
that's a
trust me,
whole
believe.
other thing.
I'm not
But
trying to do that at all. I'm,
emotions, feelings, I started asking everyone during my little things like, how you feeling? Because it's important. It's like Sister said, it's information. And once you have that information, you're able to, okay, I'm going to go this way, not that way. You're able to decide, right? Emotions, feelings are important. It helps let you know where you're at. Um, and I'm enjoying listening to this conversation also because it's a Four Hearts week. And I see how this is all going to play out this week in terms of division. The sister came in and you was like, wait.
yeah,
You
I
know,
just don't want
we
to.
had a
I don't want to
different
turn into
opinion.
no man and woman thing. It's Matriarch Monday. It's Matriarch Monday, and the healing of the nation starts with the women. First off, we have all these women have all this power and have all these different. I'm talking to Mama Kali right now, who wants to connect with each and every one of y'all. I'm speaking to the Council of Khalifa. I'm speaking to all these women, and the only thing stopping Mama Kali, the only thing stopping all these women is their emotions. Wait a minute now, stay with me. The only thing stopping the first from coming together is our emotions. So of course I'm trying to assassinate it. Let me go and get these emotions out the way. You see what I'm saying? Men can come together and not even like each other. You wouldn't even know it. We can band together and
Can
kill, you know what I'm saying, until we kill each other. But at the same time, the same place, emotions, if we know that the matriarch can correct the matrix, if we know that everything falls in your court, if y'all learn how to look, like the guy that said, know yourself, love yourself, overstand. If I know myself, I know a non-playable character when I see one too. I can't let them get me. We have to learn this the hard way. And guess what? No matter what a man learns as an individual, not a nation. When a woman learns, what they say, you teach a woman, you teach a nation, right?
correct.
So yeah,
But also, I have something to say.
I'm really not with the division, but at the same time, I'm learning what the goddess said about division. Sometimes you got to divide yourself away from pettiness, divide yourself from
Okay,
the emotional.
can I say something? You don't have to divide yourself. You can just move yourself. Just move away from it. But when I say that slavery is it's in our see, we keep forgetting that the issues are in our tissues. We have a DNA. So let's go into that DNA and see what's there. You came here whole and complete. But the sister talked about programs and stimuli. I don't whatever you learned as a child, whatever was given to you as a child, all of us don't have trauma. All of us don't have drama. As sisters, we work from feelings, which is our emotions. And as brothers, you work from a logic. So everybody's to me, when a sister works from her womb carries ancestral intelligence. Ancestral intelligence is in our DNA. It's not outside of us, it's inside of us. So we study looking outside instead of looking inward. Everything has emotions, everything has a feeling, but it's how you use that. So if that emotion comes up and that someone triggers that emotion, then guess what? Something is going to come out. So what I'm saying is when you go in and you go into that tissue, when you go into that DNA and you start looking at, y'all call it the shadow, but I call it that self that has not has because we all ain't got trauma. When do we start seeing ourselves as being whole and complete and divine? When do we start seeing ourselves as creators? Because as a creator, you create your life, you create your world, and you create your environment. So whatever's going on, you created that.
I
It's
say,
called accountability.
I say,
So if something is going on for me, Ifa Wimimo, OJ Yemi, Egbe Yinka, Mutimwa Hotep created it. And I have to accept a full responsibility because I brought it into being. It didn't come on its own accord. This is so simple that we're missing it. I know brothers that gossip.
they
I know
bad,
men that are emotional.
but those are bad men. Oh,
No,
now,
no, no. Listen, no, no, no.
well,
I know. Okay, so when a brother realizes that he is a divine feminine as well as a divine masculine, when the sister realizes she is a divine feminine as well as a divine masculine, and when we bring that to a place of wholeness, because when we create the womb, the prostate, the heart in the man, when we bring all that into alignment, then we become this whole being. But until then, everybody works from a set of emotions. It all depends. The more you know yourself, the less emotional you are. You bring that to a place of wholeness. This is what this is all about. We come to bring all this to a place of wholeness. So guess what? When two people, there's some conflict going on with two people, what's the karma between you and this person? We never look at that.
I say,
We never look to say that I have karma. We were together and this ain't our first rodeo with each other. Life is spiral.
I say,
We come to make this, we come to make ourselves to remember. We come to bring ourselves back to the creator. So if the creator gave us dominion, gave us the power to name things, what are we? But we never look at our creations. We never look at our thoughts, our words, our actions, our deeds, and our reactions. We always try to, it ain't about whether someone is emotional or not. Guess what? So what? If someone gossiping, so what? Who cares? When it's all said and done, it's about you, what you create, what you brought, not somebody else, you. So if Mama Callie want to work with us, then Mama Callie will work with us. Because when you put all that pettiness to the side and all that, it doesn't make a difference. I'm telling you, go into your tissues, go into your DNA and find and get into that, root into that. And when you root into that, you find yourself.
I say.
Because guess what? We the only ones we got.
Yeah, you got.
We only got each other when it's all, but guess what? It starts with you. I I will tell you my stuff. I'm not perfect, nor am I trying to be. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never gossiped. I'm not going to sit here and say that have not left a trail of tears because I have left a trail of tears. But I'm not leaving no more trail of tears
I say,
because every time I leave a trail of tears, that's a karma. That's a karmic debt. That's a karmic pattern. That's a karmic loop. So the more we understand that we come to rise above, that we come to remember who we are, we come to burn this karma, we come to be the alchemist. If you don't see yourself as sacred and divine, you're not going to see nobody else as sacred and divine.
I say,
But when you see your divinity, when you see your creation, then you're going to say, oh, I am the creator. I created this. I accept full responsibility and accountability. I determine who gets the front row seat in my life. I determine. Choice. When you make a choice, stand on your decision. If you said something, apologize, and if the person doesn't accept it, it's okay too. That don't mean that I can't keep the sacred space for you. That don't mean that I can't love you. I don't have to sit in the same room. I don't have to talk on the phone with you. None of that means anything to me. It's when it comes time for us to get something together, like on the I don't care. I don't care if you get all the tea. I don't care if you have a. It's enough tea for us all to have some. This world is so vast. There's so much out here that we all can have some. But we have to understand that we have to go into our DNA and get past all of that stuff. Raise the frequency, raise our vibration, and synchronicity. Because if you got war, that's because war is in you. If you don't trust somebody, it's because you don't trust yourself. Because everything starts with self. Everything starts with OJ Yemi. So if OJ Yemi is projecting something, if I see something, it's because I see it in me first.
Let's see.
There's a sister, her name is Yabaka Hill. She's a drama. She said the sister in United can never be defeated. The sister in United can never be divided. We have ancestral intelligence. So if we move in our ancestral intelligence, not AI, ancestral intelligence, guess what? That covers everything. When I need to do something, I'm going to my ancestors first. I'm going to my ori. I'm going to my womb. I'm going to sit and be still and hear before I move. Now, sometimes I don't always I do work from emotion sometimes, but guess what? When I'm in my emotion state, that's when I come ye apart. I don't call nobody, I don't talk to nobody, I shut down till I come through that because it's nothing wrong with feeling that emotion. It's nothing wrong with going through that experience. As long as you don't hurt or harm anybody while you're going through it, because you need to go through it to see what you need to see.
Mhm. You said something, OJ Yemen. You go quiet when you get in your emotions. You go quiet. That's the power. That's I might have misquoted because I'm talking fast or whatever. But when we were saying, I never said men don't have emotions. We go quiet, and that's when we learn our power.
Yes.
Because when nobody get like women, I be just like I don't feel sorry for no. When I be seeing white people out on the corner asking for money, I don't feel sorry. How you fumble? It'd be like that for women too. I'll be looking at women I'm like, everybody will bow down to your every need, and they still not happy. They're still not satisfied. So we don't, as a man, we don't get that. So we don't have to. We learn that early to just be
Well,
quiet.
that's because as women, you have to understand. It's if you're not satisfied, then there's something inside of a sister. It's inside of us. So if we're not satisfied, that means we're not satisfied with ourselves. So we're looking once again, we're looking outside. I shared a post with the sister about from Carl Jung, and it said that when a woman is woke,
Oh yeah, B. Okay, I'm
that she
sorry.
should not get married.
Give me
And I
1 second.
shared this post amongst the sisters. You should. I had one sister send me this long text. I had someone else say something, and I said, you know what? I pray that each sister reads this because it was never about not being married. It's about going within, healing yourself because a lot of us have father trauma, a lot of us have mama trauma, a lot of us have brethren, so we have that we never decide to heal from. And the first thing we say is we want a man. And so a lot of men have mama drama, daddy drama, and they want a relationship. But before you can have a relationship, you have to have a relationship with your mama, with your daddy, and with yourself, and with your siblings, and with yourself. So this is about healing self. This is about going into the tissue and healing, bringing it to a place of wholeness. We came here whole. This is so simple that we make it hard. Look at us. There's Amenset, Ifo Donkey, Oyago, Oshun. See, there's a harmony and a flow and a synchronicity. We got that. And to the sister that don't got that, we'll keep sacred space till they do get that.
Got this. We at an hour right now, and I know I gotta get ready to get out of here. So y'all do what y'all gotta do. Real quick, the goddess has something to say. And I did want to ask you some questions too. When you were speaking on the Week of Hearts, what did you have to say first? I saw you raise your hand. Can you tell us what you were speaking on? Goddess, Miss Gold.
You talking to me, right?
Yes, ma'am. I saw you raise your hand.
You're talking to me, right?
Yes, ma'am. I saw you raise your hand. I thought you had something to say.
I want to make sure I can hear you. Hold on one second. Okay. Well, whatever I was saying was probably in the flow of the conversation at that time. But just to piggyback on a few points, this is why I love talking to Oyeyemi, because when we say wholeness, I think a lot of people don't um, realize that sacred truth. We come in whole. We come in as a whole being, and if we can follow the triggers of emotion and the gossip and stuff to remember that one sacred fact, a lot of things just don't move you in that way. Meaning, on this realm, everything is so intense, everything is so dense. Your feelings, which are chemical reactions that are happening based on stimuli that's occurring within you and stimuli that you're responding to without you, it could be very overwhelming, fully encompassing you. You can become the emotion of rage. You can become the emotion of joy, fully embodied. And if you're fully embodied in joy or rage, that means you're not in touch with something else. You're becoming whole in that feeling. And if you are not grounded, if you are not aware of who you are, you will lose yourself in that state of being. And then a series of events happens as a result of that. And to me, for me, it's not for me to, I don't believe in, like, I think the word is, people say, demonizing things. I just am very firm from my studies that everything here is whole, comes from a place of wholeness, and it has an inherent value. Whether that value is a part of your life, whether that value you can see, whether that value you can appreciate, it doesn't take away that it is. I like to deal with what is. And what is true is that we all have emotions. Men have wounds as well as women have wounds. Women have logical minds just like men have. We all sharing the same tool set arranged differently with different functions. So I just think that if we could, like Oyeyemi said, focus on the wholeness that we inherently are, a lot of the other stuff kind of like, it doesn't really matter. And if we're talking about wanting to leave this place, we have to, what does Ma'at says, your heart has to be light as a feather, which means you're not taking a lot of this stuff to heart. You're not taking someone gossiping about you personal. You realize it's going to happen, and if there needs to be a discourse to talk about it, it can happen. You could talk about it. I love the idea of holding space. I am a lover. I brought up the cards because sister said it's a Four of Hearts week, and I understand that. I study cardology. I'm an Ace of Hearts. So for me, it's like, oh, that's the daddy card. That's the authorities coming in the room and saying, hey, what's going on? What we doing? It's also a card that denotes how do you love in structure. So for me, being the Ace of Hearts, I embody the love energy. So for me, I had to learn how to balance that. Not balance, I don't like that word. Harmonize what it
Who's wrong
means
with
to be
balance?
the embodiment of love in this realm. And I do hold space for a lot of people. Even if I like to tell people, I don't really F with you like that, respectfully and in love, which means that I can tell that we're not very compatible or we don't have a certain chemistry. However, if there's something that needs to be done for the greater good of all, let's get it done.
Yeah, but the
And
thing
I'll
is,
land my jet with that.
no, I want to ask you something. You said when you don't like somebody, you don't mind coming and telling them you don't like them, right? And then the other guy that says she's trying to learn how to be silent and stop
Give me a
overspending.
second. I got to catch up. I'm trying to get my other device to where you're at.
You, so neither here or there. Y'all are amazing tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna post that one. Oshun Femi, how you feeling? How you feeling tonight? You gotta elaborate. Y'all talking about the hearts and everything. I don't. I do my dragon oracle. I do the dragon oracle, right? I'll be straight to the point. When y'all talking about cards and she's saying ace of hearts and all these different things, we're gonna have to have a whole session on just that alone, and y'all breaking down that with that kind of information, because that sounds like a power tool that y'all know something about that might help us all tap into ourselves, knowledge of self. So, how do you feel about tonight's conversation?
It definitely is. I didn't quite finish what I wanted to say about that, but the
Go
expansion
ahead.
has been beautiful. But I'll just say just a little bit because I was getting into just how the week is showing up already, and it being a Four of Hearts week, and I looked up the card for the word division, and it's a Ten of Clubs, which is the Neptune card. And Neptune is elusive, but it's also spiritual, and in love and delusional, right? Um, but it also sits in the sun, and so when we talk about this division popping up and pettiness popping up and gossip and all the things, all that's in the cards. All that is in the spread for this week. And that pops up in the Pluto position, which is deals with the subconscious. And we talked about how you were raised, what environments you were in. All that's Four Hearts energy. But it shows publicly in the sun. That's where the cards are.
Mm.
Um, and then it's followed by the masterful King of Spades energy, which is the Most High, is God, is you. But then it transforms in Mercury, and a lot of it is conversational. It's really curiosity, you know. People trying to figure out what it is that you're doing can cause a hate or a disdain or intrigue or a like because however they see it, based on how they grew up. And so, really, all of it is curiosity. You're trying to learn something, and based on that emotion, you may say, I don't like it, or I do like it. There's something there, though. There's a reason. There's some reason why you encountered this person or this collective type of energy. So, I just encourage everyone to be more curious and ask questions because that's in the cards for this week, but as well as for the energy of division. Um, there's something to learn. Um, yeah, that's my piece.
Got this. Thank you so much. Because you're always a positive vibe. You know we got something special coming to you in a couple weeks. Shout out to the brother White Power. Thank you. Shout out to the brother White Power. We getting some White Power and shipping out to a couple people that might need it. Shout out OJ Yemi who even put me on White Power. So we got a couple of bottles for the community. We're gonna be passing them out. I'm gonna say how you feel tonight.
I'm good. I'm enjoying the conversation and just love to be in the energy with the sisters, you know,
I do too.
because we're talking about division, but we in unity.
Yes, ma'am. And like I said from the start, every one of y'all said something so powerful. I had to put the notebook pad out because y'all made me look at the vision. Like at first, I came when me and OJ Yemi we talk all the time, and she was telling me like I was going through a little situation. I always go through on my areas. My job is to make the way, so I bump heads a lot with a lot of people that I need to get out the way. So in doing that, I was looking at division in a whole different way. And then the guy that said sometimes we need that division. That's the whole point of Ogun coming down. I got to divide this pathway. So I look at it a whole lot different now than when we first started. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tonight and everybody that had a comment. Everybody that had a comment, including the other guy that's we might not always agree, but it's never no disrespect. I'm not trying to offend nobody. My goal is overall unity. Check me out. Check my page out. Please support each one of these goddesses. I look forward to having all of y'all back again. I want to do a card show with with Oshun Femi and Goddess. You have an amazing name too, Miss Gold. Look, when you name yourself something like that, you know you're gonna live in a good life. She know who she is. She know what path she. Look, you can't be petty around gold. Gold. So we're moving in a golden era, a golden standard, a golden age. And we should act like that, like every day. Like if we're the new gods, if we're the new ancestors, if we're the new elders, we need to live that. Pettiness is not on the agenda at all. We got to create. I love every one of y'all. I appreciate you again, OJ. You always introducing me to amazing people. Ifa Duque, I love you as well, and thank you for your prayers as well. Do you need anything?
You're welcome.
You need anything? Yes, well, I'll call you later. Also, Oshun, Goddess Ogun, how's she been doing? OJ, you mean?
Last time I spoke to her, she's well. Just keep her in sacred space.
I'll say, well, guess what? Tell her she's going to be receiving something in a couple of days. Well, yeah, in maybe a week or so, they're going to put a big smile on her face. And
Okay,
send her
will
love.
do.
Also, love to Bruja, love to everybody on the panel. Please support. How do we get in contact with you if we want to get in contact with you and get a reading, Goddess? How can we support your business, Miss Gold?
I can be reached at, I'll actually put my phone number in the chat. I have Gold Energy Management Ministries. I am a psychic, medium person. I'm a knower. So if you need to know something, I'm really good at helping people figure out the stuff they need to know for themselves, about themselves, with themselves. Because I just like to redirect people back to themselves. So I'll put my email in the chat as well as the phone number that I can be actually reached at.
Can you do that after we post the video, right? Because if you put it on here now, it's going to delete. Can you put it in? Can you put it in afterwards on the video so it'll just be up there and I'll paint it? And then, like I said, I'm gonna try to have you come back again as well. Ocean Femi, when's the next record coming out? I saw you with that platinum song the other day. Look, when's the next album coming?
Well, I mean, it's manifesting as we speak. Yeah, I'm kind of on my Jill Scott. I'm taking my time, but it's definitely manifesting for sure. And
I like Jill Scott.
yeah, I'm enjoying seeing how.
Check out her music, y'all. Her music is amazing, revolutionary, uplifting. If you tired of listening to the dumbass, the frequency that's trying to brainwash y'all into being sad all day, they hate each other all day. Tired of listening to the dumbass, the frequency that's trying to brainwash y'all into being sad all day. Got to go. Can you reach the mic for me?
Sorry.
Thank you. You okay?
That's your Aries sister, Miss Jill Scott.
For real? I ain't no shit. Look, I always had a crush on Jill Scott
I think
too.
she's an emotional split personality, but yeah, she's also Aries.
That's crazy. Okay. I get it now. And then she's from Philly. So yeah, no, man, I most definitely want to have y'all two on and talk about cars and things of that nature and get back to, because I really want to start getting into, today was more about the matriarch. I want to just figure out how we can get past emotions and start building as a nation, because now's the time. I've been talking about it for a long time, and I know we might all still have problems, but a lot of them problems are null and void. A lot of them problems don't exist in this reality. So leave them in the past. You know what I'm saying? We're creeping up on the new year in March. Nagaloka is going to be March 20th to 22nd. If you want to come to Orlando and pop out on us or whatever, I most definitely invite all y'all to come. We're in a whole new era. So a lot of them problems that they're putting in the frequency, and you listen to songs and everybody's sad and everybody depressed and everybody hateful and everybody petty, and that's a frequency that our colonizers pay good money to keep us asleep. So I said all that to say, tap into Osun Femi and listen to her beautiful music, that Osun music, that revolutionary music. I say. Outside of that, we're gonna get out of here tonight. And again, I appreciate all the goddesses for tapping in with us. Does anybody have anything to say before we go? Osun, goddess, Osun Femi or OJ Yemi?
It's all good.
Okay, now we get out of here then. This is my little prayer then. May y'all have everything in this life and that next to you strive for. I say.
When the sons of the first people return, the codes awaken. The ancestors stir. And the future aligns.